let's see, hang on, I just refreshed my option chain and it went to the other expiration. Okay, the 180 is now at 270, so it's moved $1 from when we prepped it, which was a good prep, but of course it ran so fast we didn't want to pay that premium cost because of we know Apple can shoot straight back up. So we are prepped on the 177.50. It is trading at 112.119, and we will consider a mid-range reset here with E1. So it's got to come up a little bit because basically when we get straight up, straight down, we don't get entry points. And honestly, it's very risky because if it's going straight up, straight down, there's nothing to keep it from going right back straight up. So we don't know. We need consistent cycling, meaning lower highs, higher lows, which we got here. It kind of fell off a mountain, this tick, but it was too fast for that price. We would have been chasing that. Now we're watching the 177.50, which is right at the money. It's trading at 177.90 right now, and we're gonna stay prepped on this 177.50. It's trading at 103.110. We are watching that 180 pricing. It's at 250, 260, just so we have an idea of how it's moving. But we're prepped on the 177.50, which is technically right out of the money, but it's pretty much at the money for us, considering Apple and how dramatically it's moving at this moment. We're prepped on that. If this tick remains under M1 and we get an entry point, we will enter that. But right now, we're just being patient and letting it do its little run up. And depending on what we start seeing in the tick will be if we get an entry point here or not. The option price is moving very well on that 177.50 put. And we've been watching it to know its range right now. We've got Q dropping off out of the corner of our eye as well. We can see that. Celgene's kind of calmed down. We don't really see anything going on over there. Of course, it had tons of movement yesterday, so we're not surprised much by that. And the overall market, I am checking to see, I'm assuming it's still red. Dow is down 82, so we are still seeing a big move down. Apple is lower than its low of yesterday, I believe. It was 178 something. And I'm trying to move Q's lines as well here. Everything, we do have those market movers here in just a couple minutes. Apple's down about 36 cents. The Dow's down 96. So everything continues to drop. Try and move the Qs. Lines here with Apple. Again, send in your questions, comments, trade reports to acplatinum@compoundstockearnings.com. We are prepped on this 177.50. We need Apple. M1 is still coming down, but we do need E1 to reset at least mid-range, or we'll just wait and be patient here. So it is getting closer to that 177.50, obviously, and that's kind of why we prepped that one. It is making a slightly higher low right here. If this tick remains under M1, then we will have an opportunity to enter if it goes into this continuation. And we do see everything continue off. We do have that market mover here in just a minute. I think there were two at 9:45. Okay, we got into this at 117. We set a sell to close at 125, and I'm refreshing that screen. It did close at 125. It's now at 122, 128. So this 117, we got in at 117, sold at 125, and now it's trading about 128, 129. You can see it break. I'm going to leave my lines where they were so we can talk through that after I get the return. Hang on. And it is right at that 177.50, which was the strike we did. So that was 6.8%. This is a great example today of it is continuation, but there's still momentum because basically we got this pause. We even had that higher low, which we were watching that price intently. What we did not get was a full reset of E1. That's okay in certain conditions. We were watching the market drop like a rock. It's down 130. So we know there was a lot of red movement present overall. We also were watching Q fall. We had Apple had clearly had a lot of green movement initially. Okay, let me tell you, we do have market moving reports. I read those out today. We had them at about 4 minutes ago, and then there's another one at 10, and that Fed.
The 167 that I'm looking at, sorry to interrupt, but I've got to prep out. I should have it at this point. It does have about a 5-cent spread. If that tick comes down, we will consider entering this. What's going to have to happen, that tick's going to need to break through support. E1 red is going to need to turn over. If that happens, we will consider this. However, if the tick continues to break resistance, then we will cancel this. But want to have that ready in case the tick does do what we want it to do, which is to come back down, break through M1, E1 red cross through blue, then we'll consider this trade.
Okay. I was just saying there are some market moving reports you want to be aware of.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, I was able to watch the market and my email from my car as the police officer decided to check all my stuff that took forever. So yeah, I'm up to speed.
Okay. So we've got Apple has rebounded. You can see where M1 came back through M3. Now we're still under R60, and so for now we will consider that it's going to find resistance there until we see otherwise. We also still have a red market. Let's see, the Dow is red 83, Apple's green 28. So Apple's had a pretty big move. It looks like the high was right around 179.22ish, and the low was right about 177.50ish. So not quite a $2 swing yet, but lots of movement. It is testing what's now R60.
All right, so this tick, you don't want to force anything. I'm watching. It seems to continue to find resistance here. So if it does, continues to find resistance, E1 has reset in a place that could be potential for entry. So the 167 put has about a 4-cent spread. We're just going to wait to see if that tick is going to come down, if it's going to break through some resistance there. If it does, or actually some support, then we will consider this. Waiting to see if it's going to break through. E1's kind of pointed up here. We're going to watch for that.
I'm going to leave your lines in place since you've got the prep. They are where they were when you prepped.
So here's what we've got. We see that actually watching sort of the indices here, seeing the tick come down. Want to see it break through. Want to see red cross through blue. So I did get into this for, let me see, it's being slow, 138. I'm putting a sell to close at 142. That's going to fill immediately because of that momentum happening. Got it at 8, 142. It's now at 144, 148. Oh my gosh, that thing is moving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've had great movement and option chains this morning.
That is super. That's super exciting. So we got 4 cents out of that. Could have gotten more, but I could barely even get my sell to close in before that close. So let me just do that real quick. We got in at 138, got out at 142. That is going to be for a 2.9% return. And you can see well, like even in that little bitty momentum, it's interesting. The tick broke through. I was watching for it to break through M1 and then break through that line. You can see that even in that small movement, and that's not big movement, stays on, that thing moved like 7 or 8 cents just like that.
Yeah, and that's what we were seeing with Apple. Wow. That we actually traded continuation of Apple here, which we rarely get an opportunity to trade. E1 was even low. And we entered because what we were seeing, Joni, and that's what I pointed out, is, you know, these subtleties that occur every now and then.
Right.
The option prices on Apple were moving like, you know, 10, 15 cents. Our initial prep, of course, had moved at that point over $1. So we